boy King Jacquel Martin back with another episode of Whispering to Your Soul. Y'all know how I give it up. Y'all know I come with the best and the brightest. And guess what? I found a hidden gem in LA. You hear me? And you gotta be here to mess around and find out. This is a special episode today because I want to welcome y'all to the stage, Miss Wendi Rose. What up, boo thing?
Hey.
Yeah, she's in the building.
I'm in the building.
Type. So what y'all don't know, but I'm about to tell y'all, Wendi is a songwriter. She is a rapper, artist, entrepreneur. She's doing a lot of big things out here in LA. So y'all make sure y'all tap in and get familiar with the lady. You know what I'm talking about. So Wendi, give me a nice little Costco sample of who you are, what you do, where you from. Talk to us nice.
Yes, thanks. What up, y'all? My name is Wendi Rose. Y'all can catch me on all major platforms. Social media, Wendi Rose with an I, WENDI ROSE_.
Yeah.
And I got some projects coming out. I'm working on a video soon, and I'll be releasing a new single.
What's the name of the single? Don't do us like that.
So I have it out now, featuring Moneybag Rose, BGHC. But
Shout out to Moneybag Rose.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
BGHC.
BGHC
is the title.
That is the title.
So this is a full version though, because it's like my the history of my background. You know, like what I've been through, some of my struggles. So I feel like this track is my baby. And I took a little pause, you know, a little break in a moment because I had to. Or in the industry because I had to regroup.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So now allowing things to continue to fall into place, and I'm excited for what's to come.
As you should be. Yeah. You only get one shot at life. You only get one opportunity to do this thing. So why not do it to the fullest and do it till the wheels fall off? So, you know, I listened really well, and you was talking about this is your baby. You know what I mean? So let's go back to the conception of how you even thought of this album, this track, this solo, you feel me, this EP. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of when did Wendi Rose even fall in love with music, and what was the first song? Who was the first artist? What was that first thing that was like, I want to do that?
Well, we can take it back, you know, from a mustard seed.
Yeah.
So, how it all started, well, it was given to me by Moneybag Rose. He saw me perform.
Shout out to Moneybag Rose, big up.
Yeah. And he was like really hyped about my performance, and he's like, we need to get on the track. So he invited me to the studio, and I laid it out. Like I put in the hook and my verse, and he's like, damn, that's your track. I'm giving it to you. So he blessed me with it.
Yeah.
You know, and so then I decided, since it's my track, I'm going to compose a full version of it to show more background on myself, like, you know, so that way I can share more of my life with my audience.
So, okay, you're going to let us get to know you a little bit better. So let us get to know you a little bit
So then with the second version, the full version, I actually was sat down by my manager, Maestro. Shout out to Maestro.
Big up to Maestreezy. What up, Maestro, my boy?
He took me to this coffee shop, and I actually was thinking about getting a feature, but I was like, nah, and we had an appointment, and so then I was like, nah, I had like 30 minutes to write this
Wait,
verse.
you gonna put Maestro on the track?
No, this girl, because I was
okay.
gonna also make like a girl version of it.
Yeah.
And she's a hot girl too.
Okay, shout out to all the hot girls out there in the world. Yeah, me.
But she wasn't able to fully deliver. That's another story. We
So
don't really have to
listen,
that
it
on
happens.
that.
Listen, sometimes you can't put a circle into a square, and every song ain't for everybody.
But at that moment, I felt like, oh my gosh, I got my appointment coming up at the studio. My back's against the wall type of thing, because now I got to deliver something that I don't have.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. And so he took me to this coffee shop and just sat me down, and I wrote my verse in like 30 minutes or so or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then I went that same day to record. And I'm like, everything happens for a reason.
Come on,
you know,
man.
because this is supposed to be my track, my baby.
Yeah.
And when I blow up, I'm blowing me up, and people will obviously get the overflow of me.
Come on.
Those that will be around me, you know, and then those, you know, that, you know, weren't able to fully fulfill their purpose, you know, because they hurt me in the process of it. They're just gonna have to watch and be like, damn.
They just gotta watch.
And I'm not saying that I'm just like the type to be kicking people while they're down, because I
don't. Here's the thing. I don't think you're kicking them down.
Still bless them.
I just feel like.
But I just know where to pocket you that.
Well, no. I just think for that situation, because in life there's moments.
Yeah.
And everybody can't be in that moment. So it just wasn't their turn for them to be in that moment.
Yeah.
So sometimes life will allow things to happen to remove people that aren't supposed to be there in that moment. Not saying they can't be there in the future.
Yeah.
But the timing didn't align.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't aligned, they had to be removed from the situation. So that way the people that are supposed to be in the moment can do what they're supposed to do in that moment.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah. I'm so happy you said that, right? Because we was talking off camera and stuff, and I was telling you about how I was doing Toastmasters.
Oh yeah.
Now let me tell you, I went crazy in my speech. I did a speech called The Movie, right?
Oh, okay.
And my speech was all about how we fall in love with people on screen, in film. We have our favorite celebrities, and that's fake. But when we look in the mirror, we don't fall in love with ourselves on our own hero's journey.
Can I throw pillows?
You can throw pillows. We ain't throwing pillows in this bitch. You know what I'm talking about?
Can we fall in love with ourselves?
You know what I'm talking about? We throw pillows. That's how we do on the show. So it's funny how we celebrate everyone else, but we don't celebrate our own hero's journey. And we cheer for them, or we get emotional when we see them being put in bad situations, but we don't cheer for ourselves when we're in our own bad situation. We're hard on ourselves instead of loving ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So I go through the whole speech, I smoke it, I kill it. The crowd's reacting, everybody's cheering. The mic went out, so I set the mic down, and I just kept going. And they're like, woo, yeah, going crazy, right? And as soon as I got right before the last sentence to close out my speech, they said, I'm sorry, we need you to do it again.
Because they had fixed it.
Right, because the mic was connected to the camera. And because I wasn't on the mic, it wasn't picking up what I was saying.
Yeah.
So I had to do it again. And when I did it again, the reactions wasn't the same, the energy wasn't the same, and I started messing up. And I started forgetting my speech on stage. Now, mind you, this is to go to regionals, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm mad, and I'm like, yo, this is my opportunity for me to get my son.
They better not mess up in regionals.
Man, you feel me? So I got off the stage when I finished because I thought I lost. I was like, it's over, man. Man, God, how did this happen to me?
And you know what? I think it's like, because that's still a win for you.
But it wasn't over. That's not the end of the story.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Now it's not. I'm on stage, Maestro, and I'm mad. I'm crying. I'm frustrated. You feel me?
But the reason why is because we're so stuck up on our expectations of what winning looks like.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like because of what society has set up these, expectations or limitations and puts people in a box, but you probably pictured it a certain way,
I
but
did.
because it wasn't that picture that you envisioned.
Facts.
Then now it's like you don't want it.
Listen,
but like you gotta accept it because it's still a win.
Facts.
And be grateful.
But here's the thing. I'm on the sideline. I'm mad. I'm pitching my hand, and I was losing my professionalism in the moment. You feel me? Yeah, I was hard on myself, right? And I'm on stage and I'm trying to finish the speech. I can feel the tears starting to want to fall down my face and stuff.
Yeah.
And I go sit in the corner and I'm like, keep your head up, King. Keep your head up, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to get your son no matter what. Keep your head up. Because I'm like heartbroken. I'm like, me becoming world champ was just another step closer for me to be able to wake up to my son every day, right? So I was like, I was supposed to be at work at 4 o'clock. I didn't wind up getting work till 7 o'clock because the contest ran over. And I'm over there trying to stay strong, you know what I'm saying? Head down, mad, tears falling down my face. And then at the end, they started announcing the winners. And they said third place somebody, second place somebody. And then they said first place, King Jacquel Martin.
That's awesome.
Yo. I was so in my feelings that I couldn't even embrace the fact that I won because I didn't feel like I deserved it because it wasn't how, like you said, I envisioned it. And I took the stage and I'm holding the trophy. I'm mad dog, and you know what I'm saying? I got tears falling down my face and stuff like that. And somebody came up to me and they said, you know what? You had the best speech out of everyone. But you know what was even better than your speech? For us to watch you have to do it again, fail, fight through your failures, fight through your tears, fight through keeping your head up, and fight while you're on stage. Even the confliction of how you felt, that was more powerful even than the speech you gave because we got to see you live it out in real time. Yeah. And then they asked us a question, right? They said, if you could thank anybody on stage, who would you thank? And they was like, you can't thank Mario because everyone knows I love Mario. Big shout out to Mario. I love you, right? I said, I want to thank the microphone. And everybody looked like, what? I said, I want to thank the microphone because everything happens for a reason. And if it wasn't for the microphone, I wouldn't have had to face my own fears or face my own struggles or face my own fight. And the microphone put me in the fight of my life. And even though I thought that I lost, you know, you never know, and you should never count yourself out. You feel me? Because I'm over here.
You said that when you accepted the.
Yeah, and because I'm over here on the sideline, I'm mad as hell. I got tears running. I'm texting my friends. I lost, mama. I lost, man, son. I lost, and I'm mad, right? I'm mad in the mother. Like, God, this ain't what we talked about. God, what's up, bro? You feel me? Because my show, you know, I worked. I worked till 3 a.m. Had to be up at 6 a.m. to get to the West End at 7 a.m. Didn't speak till 3 p.m. So I'm up all day practicing the speech ready, and I'm mad, bro. And then you never know, like you said, just because that wasn't how I thought it was supposed to be, God said He had something different for me.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
Amazing though. Even just to be able to witness that, you know.
Yeah, man. When I tell you
I
was in my, I'm on stage, I'm expecting the war like this. You know what I'm saying? Tears coming down my face, mad at them up.
That's awesome because it shows authenticity. You know, you were transparent and vulnerable with the audience.
Yeah. And not only that, man, it just shows the desire, how much that I love my son King and that I really want him to be with me. And, yo, like, life isn't going to work out how you think it is, but when you think it's not working for you, it's still working for you. Because you're still here, you still get another breath, you still get another opportunity. You feel me? So that's why when you were explaining, full circle moment, how people, it didn't work out when you were making the album. It didn't work out when you were making the single, and people weren't on the track, or people didn't deliver how it was, and you had to fight through that. And then Maestro got to be the microphone in this situation. No, you're gonna go to this coffee shop. You know, we're gonna talk this out, and then we're gonna let you pop, 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 pop. So now the impact of the song, it might not have been how you pictured it.
Yeah.
But the impact will now hit differently because a different part of you had to show up, and a different part of you got to be on that paper, got to be on that track, got to be. The frequency in your voice and your energy got to be totally different, which is going to make this track hit in a way that you never imagined. Because you were put in a situation that you didn't think you was going to be in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool, man. It's funny how things go full circle, you know?
And in the moment, you don't really see it. You know, you just feel the pressure, but we just have to think back of the other moments we've gone through, you know, when we made it this far, you know, so... God hasn't failed me yet.
Nah. And
He won't.
Never. And here's the thing, like, yo, I'm going to become world champion. I'm going to speak it until it happens, but not just world champion, because even when you get the title of world champion, what's the point of having the title of world champion if you don't keep going? Are you going to do a TED Talk? What's next? What's after TED Talk? Are you going to speak in colleges, prisons, all around the world, stadiums? Are you going to continue doing what you're saying you're doing, or are you only satisfied with the song? Are you only satisfied with the title of world champion?
I'd like to do that.
You feel me?
Yeah, and it's actually a goal of mine, and it's a little secret I have. Maybe not a secret.
No, you gotta have your own personal thoughts.
So I'm super shy, and like I don't go live enough. You know, to speak with my audience.
Yes.
And, you know, so I get super shy, but on stage it's totally different. I feel like my energy shifts, but you and others have told me that I need to picture this like I'm performing, so that way I can deliver. So that's what I'm doing now, you know.
Maestro, can I cook one time, Maestro?
Good.
First of all, I'm going to put you on camera.
Okay.
You are what you say you are. So if you speak shyness over your life, then you program yourself to believe that
confident.
Something that
I'm strong.
You feel me? And look, I'm gonna show you how this works, right?
You're right.
You ain't got no shorties.
I'm gonna stop saying
Do you have shorties or no?
No.
Okay, so let's say you have a shorty now. If you tell your child you're stupid, what would the child believe?
I wouldn't.
I'm just saying, what would the child believe?
Right. I need to speak to myself like I need to
Come
speak
on.
to my daughter.
Because the child would believe that it's stupid. So you've been programming yourself ever since a little kid to say, I'm shy. And now that's become your truth. Because if there's life and death in what we speak, then how do you speak to yourself? How are you programming yourself? Because you're the same person that said I'm shy. You're the same person that's on stage. And you're like, oh no, I transform and I'm different. No, you're just showing the other side of you that's always been there, that you allow to be dormant because you put it in this prison of shyness. But when you touch the microphone and you're feeling the energy from the people, you're the same person. You just choose to feel different.
You're right.
You see what I'm saying?
I like that.
So you got to watch how you speak to yourself and how you love yourself, because that'll become your truth.
I appreciate
that.
Yeah. That's accountability.
Come on. That's why you think my brother Maestro brought you here. Shout out to Maestro. You know what I'm talking about?
Shout out to Maestro.
So,
shout out to King.
You feel me?
For the spoken word.
What was the first song that you fell in love with that made you even feel like you want to do music, or is people in your family do music?
No. I'm the only artist.
Okay.
But I do have a brother that likes to jam out, and he's a DJ actually. So then I guess he would be, in the music. But as far as like,
shout out to your brother. Shout out to your brother.
Yeah,
gotta
DJ
shout him out.
Dot one. You gotta shout out DJ Dot.
DJ Dot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the first song that you heard that you fell in love with?
Oh, so not of my own. Okay.
Listen,
they say you gotta love your words.
Listen.
Right?
Then talk your talk. Talk your talk. Talk your talk. What you mean?
All right, look. My first song that I ever created is called My Boo. And that one actually came from like a heartbreak or whatever. So I went in there and talked my shit. But I let my music mentor at the time, Flossie. Shout out to Flossie.
Shout out to Flossie. What up, though?
So he was like my mentor and stuff, like big bro. And he was like, yo, you really have something here. Like, because I even had a little bit of singing to it on the hook. Mm-hmm. But it didn't turn out to be my first release ever. My first release was Light Shining, and then that ended up being my second release. But even when I perform it, they're like, yeah, that's the hit. But
since that's the hit and this is whispering to your soul, can we get a nice little Costco sample of the song? Can we get a little verse? Can we get a little hook? Dang. Can we get a little?
It's kind of like
acapella. We don't need no beat. Acapella. We had whispering to your soul.
Come to mind.
Can you whisper
I'd
to
rather
him?
do something else because
all right, well, this
that was 2018. I'm taking you to the beginning.
But we get to hear the authenticity. We not judging you. It's not like you're going for a
I've gotten better as time goes.
Yeah, well, we just want a little Costco sample of where you started, and then when we hear your track, we can hear where you've grown. You feel me?
That's true.
Yeah, give us a little Costco sample of it.
So, but I have to remember,
just give us what you remember. A little sample. It's just a sample. You feel me? You ain't got
okay.
No word for it.
So the hook part.
Yeah.
Why make it hard? Let my love come in. I'm not into playing games. Hold on. Not into playing games with my love. See, you gotta let me play the song.
Look, here's a good thing about it. Because y'all remember when I said I was on stage and I messed up in my speech and I had to do it again, and someone just encouraged me. No, man, don't worry about the flaws. God let things happen for a reason.
Yeah, 'cause it's
so now, hold on. So now you get to practice what you preach. We ain't worried about the mess up because it wasn't about that anyway.
What I say?
Yeah. Or give us another gem. Give us another song. Whatever you're feeling.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'll do the latest.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
So, I'll do the second verse on that one. Rose from LA, born on Hope Street, made a better place. 213, baby, the net 818. 1994, lost a home due to the quake. Living in a car with my family's what it takes. Tough skin for these scammers and these snakes. Leading with a pure heart, what a big mistake. Spiritually led, closing deal, good in his cake. Relationship goals, Mr. Crack, give me face. A proper ride up, I finished first place. I slurp it right up, he liked the way I pace. Presented from above, so these haters pinch your face.
They didn't know. We go crazy. We be having a good time. We be having a good time. That's what it's all about.
I'm hot.
You feel me?
Thank you.
You know what I'm talking about? Listen, bars, first of all, thank you for just having fun on the show. You know what I'm saying? Don't even trip because we all flood. We all have our moments, but I appreciate you fighting through it like you told me I had to fight through it. So it's funny how, you know what I'm saying, everything happened like it happened. Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's the thing. Because we just both had talked about our flaws and we talked about how we fail. How do you pull yourself out of the dark place when you fall in life, when you struggle in life, when things don't go how you want it to go, how do you pick yourself back up? What is your secret? Because I've had people say they lift weights, they walk, they journal. What is it that Wendi Rose does when she goes through her storms?
And I do all that, journal, to pray. I pray a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I read. I surround myself with other people, that I love, because when I pour into others, is pouring into me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I just try to be positive for everyone. I know, it's really hard, actually, because sometimes when I do get into that dark space, I isolate myself. And,
come on, tell the truth. There we go.
But that's where the enemy wants you,
Hold on. What you say?
The enemy wants you to isolate yourself.
Come on. Why he wants you in isolation? Why sometimes what happens?
Because he wants to keep you in bondage, and he wants to keep you there, make you think you don't have anybody, you got to do it all by yourself. It's not gonna get better or whatever, and that's my problem. Like with me, like I feel like, like I have no purpose. What is my purpose?
Tell the truth.
Because actually, and I'm gonna talk about how society,
come on, Wendi,
makes up these dreams and stuff for like little girls. How it's supposed to be like, a fairy tale with the husband and children, but oh, my bad.
You good? Cool.
It's supposed to be with husband and children, but sometimes it's not even like that. Not everybody married, not everybody have children. And so I think that in my mind I had like that dream, but I'm getting to a point where I have to be happy with who I am, how I am now, because I don't have a husband and I don't have children, but maybe God has other plans for me, and maybe it's just not right now, and it's His timing. So it's about finding the joy in the journey, and honestly, how, like I said, they build up these children to have these dreams of this perfect life.
Yep.
But we should really be building our children, how you said, self-love.
Yeah.
Because when you can love yourself,
come on,
and heal yourself, you can love yourself and others to the full potential.
fullest potential.
Like,
you can't let up nobody if you don't know how to love yourself. Cook, Wendi.
Like if I was jaded and broken, and I'd just be cutting you with my pieces. But if I'm healed, then I can love you properly. And I love you enough to tell you that, so we can grow together.
Wait, did you just say if I didn't love myself, I would be jaded and I would be cutting you with my pieces?
Broken.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because here's a funny thing. All of us have broken pieces. All of us are a puzzle of broken pieces. And we can't see our own beauty until we learn how to love ourselves in our broken pieces. But in our brokenness, that's where our beauty is. That's where our healing is. That's where our forgiveness and mercy and grace is for ourselves. So a lot of us do walk around cutting each other because they say hurt people. But we never take the time to learn how to love ourselves, so that way we can have the healing and put this puzzle back together again.
Yeah.
Do you know in a museum, an artifact has more value when it's broken and been put back together again?
Yeah.
Do you not know that a puzzle comes broken, but you have to put it back together again in order to see the beauty of the puzzle? So I feel like that works like us in life, that we have to learn how to put our broken pieces back together again, so that way we can see our own beauty, because we're perfectly imperfect, but we have to fall in love with our imperfections to see how beautiful we actually really are.
That's
and
right.
so I had, shout out to Legal Queen on the show, I said, if you want your truth, then you have to uncover your lies. But your lies are in the broken pieces. You know what I mean? The things that we try to hide, the things that we call ourselves ashamed and embarrassed of, or that we feel like we'll be judged about. But our brokenness is where our freedom is. Because when we're able to heal from our brokenness, then we become invincible. Like, I'm working on this speech. It'll be out for the World Championship, and it's going to be called Masterpiece. Master Peace.
Yeah.
Because you can't be a masterpiece without learning how to master your peace.
Yeah.
You be
That's good.
You know what I'm talking about?
That's good.
Go ahead and finish
and
cooking.
like I have a song too that says light shining broken but open to receive. You know, so
whoa. You're not say something like that on the show and act like we ain't gonna say it
so
again.
like I could be in a pity party, having a pity party, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm broken. I've been hurt, whatever. But we can shift our negative thoughts to our positive thoughts.
Come on.
Right? And then instead of feeling defeated, we can say, I'm broken, but I'm open. I made more room to make more space.
Ooh,
I'm broken, but I'm open and I'm ready to receive.
She's cooking right now, Maestro.
She's a chef.
You feel that? She is in this moment.
Chef Rose.
You feel me? We are now dining at Chef Wendi Rose's restaurant.
It's high and ready.
That is fire. I think that's, first of all, I think that's so important. Why? And I want you to say that why that's important. If you had an opportunity to talk to the younger Wendi, what advice would you give her? What would you tell her?
Don't make me cry.
Yeah. If you could give advice to the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20-year-old younger self, what would you tell her? Because she done been through some things, and a lot of times we forget how to love on our past because our childhood has become a prison of mistakes or things that we've been through, and now that we're an adult, we carry this baggage from our childhood, and we don't even realize how those traumas still hold us back, and like we're mental slaves to our childhood. So what would you tell your younger self to give your older self more freedom? Because like you said, you have to shine light in their brokenness. So how would you shine a light on you? Damn, I'm good, Maestro.
That is good. Well, I would tell her to give herself more grace, because I was really hard. I'm hard on myself now, but I'm hard on myself because I learned to be that way when I was a child. I was the child as a parent, growing up, having to take care of everybody, my siblings, and my parents were gone. My mom had to work like double shifts, and my dad was an alcoholic, and so I had to go through, some different traumatic, experiences in different years of my childhood, and excuse me.
Let that out. You good. You good. Don't try to fight that. Don't try to fight that. Let that on out.
So I just basically, just tell her to give herself more grace, and because at that time I couldn't see it,
Yeah.
I think at 15, I was like having a breaking moment where, like, this can't be life. This can't be me, like, raising my brother and my sister, and my parents don't care, like.
Yeah.
And then when I'd be the one to kind of like start to lay the law down for my siblings, I'd get beat on by my dad, and then I'd get put out because I was the oldest, whatever, so I was put out twice in my teenage years, and I'm so super grateful for godparents because they took me in. And I would have never thought that God loved me that much that He sent me a set of parents.
Yeah. No, you're okay, because you're not the only young lady who's been through that.
And so
it's okay. Let that out.
And so sometimes, all this shit affects our careers. It affects our relationships, it affects, our future.
Yeah.
Because we're conditioned a certain way and thinking we're not gonna make it, we don't see the light, But if we just continue to push, you end up seeing why it went that way, and so we have to trust that there is a plan. Oh my God, you got me bawling.
It's okay. No, that's called
we
you
have to
healing.
trust that there is a plan, you know, because God knew that I needed somebody at that age. And still in moments where I know I need, because since I'm the strong one in the family, you know, I gotta get it for myself, you know? Like, it's like, who's gonna take care of the strong one? Well, God is, you know, but I'm not really respected by my family, you know, because, like, it's like with Joseph, how, you know, his family turned on him, and, like, I didn't ask to be, he didn't ask, you know, like, I didn't ask to be the one leading, you know, and so, and I know I will, and I'll be all right, you know, and I'm still going to love on my family. My mom, she's a rock. She's always been a prayer warrior, you know, but it's obvious that I have been through some shit, excuse my language, and people that have gotten a chance to know me know that, and they judge me for it, and so that's why I close in and I don't do, you know, social media and stuff like that, because even in the industry, like, it's another game there. That's another world, like another level of monsters. You know what I'm saying? Because people are so envious of you and they just want what you got, but you can't fill my shoes. You can't process the things that I've processed. You know, other people, you know, unfortunately, and you know, I've had my moments, you know, where, like, I'm just ready to lay it all out. But I don't, you know, and I remember, you know, who I am. I'm God's daughter, and that's another thing that I had to learn is God is my father first, you know. So even though my biological father, you know, he used to beat on me, like, where I'd have cuts and bruises on my legs and my back, and beat my mom in front of me, and you know, that affects you as an adult. But I've done a lot of healing, a lot of self-reflecting, so that I don't pass that on to the next generation, because I'm about cutting generational cycles, you know, and creating new generational cycles, like generational wealth. Like, that's what I'd like to do. Teaching my babies and their babies to self-love, you know, so that way we don't have to go through a lot of these things that we've gone through, you know. But my parents, they came from a different country, so they only knew, you know, so that allows me to forgive them, and still, you know, by forgiving them, that's honoring them. And so they say, honor your mother and father.
That's a bar. We're not gonna let you slip that out there. She said, even still in my forgiveness, that's my way of honoring my parents still, because you still have to have honor for your parents.
Yeah.
Go ahead, cook, Wendy. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, you know, and I forgive my dad, and unfortunately I had to, that was my figure of, like, what a man's supposed to be, I guess, you know. So then I ended up being in abusive relationships, and, you know, but I became so resilient, like my mother, but like a sharper version, you know, because now I'm helping her to unlock certain things, you know, heal certain places that she didn't know, you know. So as long as I'm doing my job, you know, like as a daughter, you know, I'm good. The word does say the more you add on to your parents, the more life you're adding on to yourself, you know.
Wow, 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 wow. Come on, Pastor.
So I'm not only taking care of the little ones, I take care of the parents and the elders.
Yeah. First of all,
I'm a one-man army.
I want to tell you what you just did was so beautiful and transparent.
Thank you.
I feel like you needed that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we don't even realize that we're carrying things that we're carrying.
Yeah.
And your tears actually get to water your soul. And it's proven proof, or scientific proof, that even when you cry, it's a way of detoxing yourself. It's a way to get certain toxins out of the body. So I'm pretty sure
that
That's
someone's listening is probably in tears right now too, because they were that little girl. I remember I was that little boy. My mom, I never knew my father, and I remember my mom married a guy, and well, she didn't marry him. She was talking to a guy named Sticky Ricky, is what we called him in Germany. And I remember we used to get tied to the bedpost, get beat by this dude, all different type of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that nigga's not my father. You can't put him on me. This and that. That's your situation. But you know what I had to learn was, I started asking my mom what was her childhood like.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times
they went through it too.
we never ask our parents what they've been through and why they've been programmed to believe what they believe, because they only know based off of what they've been through. And a lot of times as kids, we look at our parents as superheroes, and we forget that they're regular people that have been through things, that have pain, that have problems. So me starting to understand what my mom has been through has allowed me to understand her, and has created more healing for me. And maybe, you know, I never got a chance to know my father. I met my father maybe 3 times, 4 times my whole life. And hearing his version of what happened between him and my mom is totally different than my mom's version. You know what I mean? And for me, I hate or I dislike when parents aren't honest. And the reason why I say that is, well, I did this to protect you. No, you did this to protect you, because you didn't want us to know the truth, because you were afraid of what the judgment might have been. But sometimes when we're not authentic and we pass on lies, we don't realize how much more damage that lie does, because we wind up falling into the trap of those lies, and then we call it, well, I want to break a generational curse. Generational curses are real, but I believe the way to break a curse is to learn how to be you and not just fight the curse. Because sometimes when you try to fight something, or you try to go out your way to break something, you wind up becoming what you're trying to break. You know what I mean? And then you're like, well, how did I get into this cycle? How did it happen to me? Why am I going through what I'm going through? I done been through my relationships. I done been through my situations. My stuff ain't perfect either. But in all of this failure, what I started realizing, Wendi, and this is where the reason what I want to share with you, maybe God allowed you to go through all of that to prepare you for where you're about to go. Because you said different levels have different monsters. I say different levels, different devils. But if you wasn't strong enough or prepared to go in these rooms in the industry and all around these different things in life, then it would have destroyed you. But because you had to be sharpened, you had to be put in the fire, you had to be tested, you had to be heartbroken, your tears had to fall. All these situations, you had to relearn how to love yourself. Now when you walk around all these monsters, you don't have to be afraid, because you know who you are. And you know whose you are. And now because you know that, you can move differently, and you can handle the room full of monsters. You can handle the boogeyman. You can handle other people's conversations. Your ears are sharper. Your spirits are sharper. Your discernment is different, because you've already been through the mud. Not saying that you won't fall again, but hey, I am so prepared now for where I'm going and the different levels that I play at, because life is like a video game, and at the end of every video game, there's a boss you have to beat. And every level you go up, that boss gets harder and harder and harder and harder. Well, the preparation of our failures prepare us for the end boss, you know what I'm saying, of each level. You feel me? So I'm so happy you talked about not cutting people with your broken edges, and you learn how to love it and put yourself together again. So now you can find your peace, because you've always been a masterpiece from the beginning. And you mastered your broken pieces. Not saying that you still won't have brokenness, not saying that you still won't fall, not saying that you still won't go through things, because that's life. Life is made up of ups and downs, just like a roller coaster. We get on it for the ups and downs. We never get on a roller coaster for it to go straight. You feel me? So enjoy the ups and downs, but you know what else has ups and downs? An EKG machine. So enjoy the ups and downs before you flatline, and appreciate it, because with the highs and the lows, you can find the beauty in yourself in the darkest places of life. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so next one. What impact do you want your music to make on people?
The impact to be a little bit more open-minded, and like to dig deep within self. You know, I think that my music helps heal, because I have certain bars that like will like is like spiritually awaken, you know, like
You whispering to people's souls.
Yeah, I'm whispering to people's souls.
Might show you like a self plug, shameless plug.
Hey, speaking of whispering to your soul.
Yeah. I told you full circle moment you was gonna remember it.
So I'm gonna use the opportunity
Plug
for what I
bar.
said earlier.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I told you to go come back.
Whispering to your soul. I love the title of your podcast.
Thank
because
you.
A lot of people don't know the power in whispering, what a whisper can do. You know. And I feel like there's a lot of value there.
And y'all know what I gotta do? That's a fire! Y'all don't know the power of whispering sometimes.
It's like you could say a speech, right? Like you can give a speech or deliver a message to somebody.
Yeah.
Whether you're angry or excited, whatever, you know, and be ignored by the whole room.
Yeah.
But you could say a soft whisper and grab the whole room's attention.
Yeah.
You know, like there's power behind a whisper.
That part. Listen, honestly, God gave me this title, the W2IS, the Whisper into Your Soul, because sometimes I see a lot of people when they're doing motivational speaking and they're and they're roaring and yelling, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing,
it's
and it's okay to have the balance. Yeah, you know,
feel
like
me?
when you're
but guess what? There's a power in just saying what you need to say in the land, and that resonate to the spirit. So whispering to your soul is not about me talking to your flesh. It's actually about me talking to your spirit. You feel me?
Yeah.
To your soul, because there's three parts to us. There's mind, body, soul. And so I don't want to talk to your flesh. I'm talking to you, but I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to your flesh. I'm talking to what I believe God put inside of all of us. There's that spirit. There's something inside of us. So like there's enough lies out there in the world. So you know what goes past a lie and penetrates the truth, authenticity, being genuine. There is such a powerful frequency in being honest and truthful. And I feel like that's what pierces and gets to your soul, because of all the BS that's put out into the world, from the music that we hear, the TV that we hear, the politics. There's so many distractions from the truth.
And even like those who bang, because, you know, we in LA.
Yeah.
You know, because some people, you know, they get really mad instantly, you know, and angry and start yelling, you know. But I feel like if you get to that point, you already lost the battle, because like you ain't thinking clear.
Listen,
you on emotions right now.
There's this thing, right, that I said on a different show. It's a formula that God gave me. Can I share it with you?
Yeah.
All right, Maestro, can I cook one time?
Yes, sir, please.
All right, let me cook one time then.
Hungry.
Have y'all ever seen the movie Inside Out?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay. So in Inside Out, it talks about all these different emotions that are inside our brain.
It's the cartoon.
The happiness, sadness, anger, shy, the sadness, all these different emotions. And each one gets to control the brain at one point in time. Okay, so let me cook. I believe that when God created us, He gave us the superpower of emotions, right? Because how did you know the cry when the doctor hit you in the butt? You didn't. So I believe when we were created, we were pre-programmed with certain things in us, right? Which are our emotions. So I believe that our emotions are our superpowers. But there's difference between having emotions and being emotional. See, because when you're emotional, you're no longer in control of your emotions. Your emotions are now controlling you.
True.
Have you ever done something because you were in your feelings, and when you no longer felt that way, you regretted what you did? Right?
Yeah, like fighting.
Yeah, exactly, right? So,
but I don't fight no more, everyone.
Yeah. So there's a difference between having emotions and being emotional. And the difference between having emotions and being emotional is your emotional intelligence, right? Because you get to choose how you feel. You get to choose which emotion that you allow to take over your brain, right? You get to choose that, because even if I'm angry, that doesn't mean love, happiness, peace, mercy, grace, and all these other different things aren't there. I'm just choosing not to use them, right? Okay, so we got that part out the way. Emotional intelligence equals life. You would agree that life was here before us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if life was here before us, life is made up of good experiences and bad experiences. Okay. divided by, you know, little this division sign, right? Divided by you. Divided by you. Because you are the common denominator of your own life. Every good experience you had, you were there, right?
I like that.
And every bad experience you had, you were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how you choose to feel about your good experiences and your bad experiences, you make up your own heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Based off of how you choose to feel, because your biggest enemy is your enemy. And the biggest war you'll ever fight is the one between your ears. You feel me? Yeah. So last one while we wrap this up, right? What do you want your legacy? No, last two. What do you want your legacy to be? And then the last question will be, if you had any advice for any young girl out there, what would you tell them? Or any upcoming artist?
Okay. So with my legacy, I would like to know that I made an impact in people's lives. Just basically, even if I was able to spark, someone's mind, so that they can go and activate their dreams, then I know that I've done my job.
Yeah.
Or if someone listens to my song and they're having a depressed day and pushback, that's a song that I have that fights depression.
Yeah. Shout out to Pushback.
Pushback.
Yeah.
By Wendi Rose. And so my best friend, she calls me and she tells me, I love that song. I'd be running it back for hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, thank you for letting me know. But it's also a way, letting me know that she's not feeling so good, so I'm gonna have to go check on her.
You gotta check on people.
You gotta check on your people.
Sometimes you gotta check on the people with the biggest smile. Sometimes you really gotta check on the ones that are the strongest, because they're going through the mess. You feel me? And then last one. Do you have any advice that you would give to any upcoming artist or any young lady?
Yes. So don't lose your authenticity. Find value in yourself. Everyone holds a gift, and you just have to look within, and keep digging. Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. Be patient with self and others.
Okay.
And hustle.
Hard. Any merch or anything people could, a website or anything like that?
They can look me up on Wendi Rose _ I do have some merch. You would have to.
She got that merchiana.
I have my logo. So,
yeah.
I have it like on sweats and hoodies. So anybody wants to support the cause, you have to reach out.
Gotta get it. So where can we find you? Give us your Instagram and social media one more time.
Wendi Rose, WendiRose _
You dig. And then y'all make sure y'all tap in with your boy King Jaquel Martin. That's KingJaquellMartin. And check out the show Whisper Into Your Soul. You feel me?
Yeah.
We're on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify. We're about to be on iHeartRadio and Apple Music. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. And the merch is coming real soon. We gonna have some hoodies, some suits, some hats, and all that good type of stuff. You feel me? But make sure y'all tap in with my girl, Miss Wendi Rose.
Thank you for having me.